Hi friends, this is 21st chapter of Right to Recall Party Manifesto. Today is 20th September, Thursday. My Right to Recall Party Manifesto is available at rahulmehta.com/301.htm. I'll repeat, rahulmehta.com/301.htm. This chapter is 21. It is how courts can be improved, how nepotism in courts can be reduced, and how corruption in courts can be reduced. So first of all, there is a superstition. Many people believe that courts are not much corrupt. That is not true. And some people agree that lower courts are corrupt, but High Court and Supreme Court judges are not corrupt and not nepotic. That is also false. Nepotism is more than rampant. Why is nepotism so rampant? Because all the judge decides. So over a period of time, within 5-6 months, 1 year, 2 years, the judge develops nexuses with the senior lawyer, well-known lawyer, or his relative lawyers. And so any asil, any client who goes via those judges will get more favorable judgments, such as bail or any other judgment, and the person who is not going via relative judges will get less favorable judgments or less favorable treatment. So nexuses are rampant in justice system all across world. How the West solved that problem, I'll discuss that, but there is a superstition, wrong belief, and all very senior activists like Subramaniam Swamy, Arvind Gandhi, Anna, they all keep promoting this wrong belief that Supreme Court judges are not corrupt, Supreme Court judges are not nepotic. So let me give one extreme example of corruption, which is so obvious that the judge took bribe in this case or gave wrong judgment, dastardly wrong judgment, that I request you to Google on Swiss, Marty, pedophilia or sex crimes and such keyword, and you will get immediately article. I apologize for giving such very bad example, and sometimes the messenger looks bad because he gives bad messages, but this is one of the cases that characterize Indian judiciary, Indian judges very accurately. The case details are that there was a multimillionaire, Swiss multimillionaire named as Marty, and he had this perversion that he would rape girls of the age of 8 years, 9 years, 10 years old. So he had raped 3 girls in a Mumbai hotel, and the police inspector in the local area came to know somehow. So he raided it, and the police PI was really shocked, and what he said is that in this particular case, I am not going to compromise, I am not going to take bribes. So he prepared the full cases with evidences and everything, and in the room when he was examining evidences, he found a laptop in which there were video of that guy raping about 300 different girls at different time, different places, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, not Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, lots of such places. So what that inspector did is that he made about 100-200 copies, and he sent all across the world, different NGOs, different laboratories. So that guy was a Swiss national, his name was Marty, and the opinion from American Forensic Lab, Switzerland Forensic Lab, UK Forensic Lab, all opinions came that these videos are genuine, all 200 videos, 300 videos are genuine. This is the guy, these are the girls, etc., etc. So now Indian Forensic Laboratory in generally in such cases they sell out, because the girls were poor and these guys were actually rich. So in 99% cases these FSL people, they sell out. But now their opinion would have contradicted against opinion of so many forensic laboratories, so they could not sell out, and they said that these videos are genuine. Now there were so many evidences like blood stains on the bed sheet and this and that and all that. The lower court judge too could not sell out outrightly. So lower court judge gave a punishment of 7 years in prison, which was less, because in such case the person can be imprisoned for 14 years because the girl was below 18 years, so she was just 8-10 years old. So the High Court judge took bribe and he outrightly acquitted this multimillionaire. He just imposed a fine of about 6 lakh rupees and he acquitted this person. So everybody went to Supreme Court and asked the Supreme Court Chief Judge Khare to cancel the High Court judgment. So what Supreme Court Chief Judge Khare did is that he did not cancel the judgment, but he gave the stay order on the judgment, but immediately gave bail to this Marty guy. And the guy escaped next day because he was a Swiss national, he was a multimillionaire. So what if you take away his passport? There is so much border and coastline where anyone can escape without a passport. So this guy escaped out of his passport. So my allegation against this Honorable Chief Justice Khare, Honorable, is that he knew that this guy is going to escape when he gave bail. First of all, a crime of rape when the victim is below the age of 16 is non-bailable offense. Something that every judge knows, something that even an LLB student knows. So this was non-bailable. On top of it, there was a lower court judgment convicting. On top of it, there was a videotape evidence. Videotape evidence was shown to Judge Khare, Honorable Chief Justice Khare, and Chief Justice Khare knew that if he gives bail, this guy is going to escape away. Despite this, he gave the bail. The rumor in Supreme Court lawyer is that the Khare took bribe of about 15 crore. I gave a newspaper advertisement in which I cited this case and said that God knows how much bribe Khare took to give such bail. So this is how corrupt our chief judges are, Supreme Court chief judges are. And in there was another case when I request you to Google Ghaziabad Provident Fund scam. In this, the accountant in the Ghaziabad Sessions Court was involved. He had done a fraud of about 50-60 crore, and the fraud involved about 25 principal Sessions Court judges. The fraud went over a period of 10-15 years. And some of the judges had been promoted to High Court, and 2 or 3 of them had become Supreme Court judges. So that guy was imprisoned. When the fraud came out, CBI imprisoned him. So that guy said, I want to give a statement before magistrate that so many judges were involved. Of course I did all the fraud, but I gave so much money to this judge, so much money to this judge, and he had maintained a diary. Anyway, and he wanted to give testimony before magistrate. So for 3 months, magistrate was not available, और उसका suicide करवा दिया गया. That guy was suicided. That guy was suicided means it was a murder which was reported as a suicide. Who murdered it? That we can tell only by taking narco test of the CBI person in charge and the jailer. That jailer we should narco test that jailer to go figure out who murdered it. But it is more than clear that who benefited from the murder. 3 Supreme Court judges benefited the most out of murder, and about 3 or 5 High Court judges and about 5 to 10 Sessions Court judges benefited out of this murder. So maybe we should narco test them as well to know if they were involved in any way in this murder case. So this is how corrupt and cases of nepotism are dime a dozen. You can ask any lawyer, practicing lawyer. Most of the lawyers are very afraid of talking about corruption and nepotism in judges. They won't talk. But there are some bold lawyers. If you meet a real activist lawyer, he will give you n number of details that this guy was a lawyer, this guy was a relative of this judge, he became the judge, and then this guy was making hardly 2 lakh, 5 lakh rupees per year. All of a sudden his uncle became judge, uncle judges, and all of a sudden his practice jumped from 5 lakh to 50 lakh per year, 1 crore per year, 2 crore per year, etc. etc. Now, what is the effect of such corruption and rampant nepotism in the court? It increases injustice in the court. It increases injustice in the society. It reduces justice in the society. And what is the effect of such injustice? That every time there is an injustice on a person in the society, could be a small guy, could be a middle level guy, he feels detached from the society. He feels that why should I sacrifice for the society, or why should I even care for the society? Why should I bother about society? He becomes less concerned, or sometimes he even becomes a sociopath. That let society go to hell, let nation go to hell. Foundation of patriotism is reducing injustice. Patriotism, nationalism can be built not by giving talks and not by having morning shakha that RSS people do round the clock, or not by giving sermons of patriotism that all these textbooks have, or not by singing poems or narebaji like sloganeering. Patriotism and nationalism comes by reducing injustice in the society, by making society more predictable, by making rank and file of businesses, emergency services or any services predictable, and ensuring that people are going by the book as far as possible, and that can happen only when the courts are fast and fair. Whether it is auto rickshaw driver who is asking for 10, 20, 50% extra rent, or whether it is corruption or corrupt police who is asking for money to file an FIR, all this is because our courts are not fast, our courts are rampantly unfair. So if we do not fix the court, whole society is going to implode. How can courts be improved? There are technical suggestions, yes. For example, computerization, summons can be sent via email, summons can be sent through fax, email is good enough, and court records should be computerized, notices should be sent through SMS, etc. Those are all well and good technical suggestions, but there are fundamental issues such as nepotism in judges and corruption in judges. How can those issues be handled? In this chapter 21, again I request you to download this book, rahulmehta.com/301.htm. In this book, section 21.3, I have given action items. Right to recall Supreme Court Chief Judge, that is most important than right to recall High Court Chief Judge, right to recall lower court judges. In America, courts are less unfair and relatively fast, mainly because they have right to recall High Court Judge and they have right to recall District Court Judge. Then abolish interviews at all level. In China, the courts are less unfair because almost all recruitment is done by written exam. All recruitment in lower judiciary should be strictly by written exam, no interview. If the person is bad, jury will expel him within 1 or 2 years. But because of recruitment, there is rampant nepotism and corruption in recruitment. There was a case where I came across some lawyers. They said that in interviews, they only select relatives of the judges, period. You could be literally a topper in written exam, but if you are not a relative of a judge, you will get rejected. Then recruitment should be done by broad written exams, not by narrow exams, because in narrow written exam, the chances of corruption are higher. So the UPSC exam or State Public Service Commission broad written exam, and the written exams result should be very fast, because longer the delay between the exam and the result, with computerization preliminary results can be given within 1 or 2 days. There is no reason for delay. Longer the delay time, higher the chances of corruption, or at least doubt that foul play happened. We should be clear that there should not be any doubt that foul play happened. So if there are written exam today and the results come tomorrow and the answer sheets are put on the web next day, then people will not have doubt that there was any corruption in the exams. Recruitment in High Court judges too should be only via written judgments, and recruitment in Supreme Court judges should be via seniority only. No written exam, that's a very high level. We cannot have written exam that level, but it should be strictly by seniority. If there are interviews, then there is a jury-based procedure for interview that I have detailed. That randomly chosen citizens, 10 citizens will ask question. Through video conferencing, randomly chosen another 10 citizens will listen to the question as well as the answer, and the person who is asking question will not give the marks. The second team, which is only listening to the question and answer, and they cannot ask the question, each person will immediately give the mark as the interview is going on, and those marks will be taken as the interview score if interview is needed at all. Then jury system in lower courts, jury system in High Court, and jury system in Supreme Court. National ID system, that's a technical proposal. As national ID improves, criminal tracking will become easier, giving evidences in the court will become easier. Then wealth tax on non-agricultural land as well as agricultural land of 0.5%, so that money can be collected for courts, wealth tax of about 0.5% of the market value. Using that, create about 100,000 courts. Today we have 18,000 courts, 3 crore pending cases. Do the math, it will take at least 30 years to finish the pending cases. With 100,000 courts also it will take 3 years, which is a long time, but at least after those 3 years the delay will become negligible. Then jury system over government employees, state government employees, and jury system over central government employees. Then right to recall over national prosecutor, so-called attorney general, right to recall over state prosecutor, right to recall over district prosecutor. Then teaching law from class 6 or earlier whenever the parents say. If the parents say that teach my kid law from second standards, then the kid will be taught law from second standard. Teach my kid law from third standard, it will be taught from third standard, but law will be a compulsory subject starting class 6, class 7, and all intellectuals have opposed this proposal that law should not be taught even to a 12th class student. They are opposing that law should be taught even to the BA BCom students. They say that no, law should be taught only to LLB people. Then teaching law to all adults for free, adult law education for free, wealth disclosure of our government employees, including judges. Today the judges are not disclosing their wealth. So judges have to disclose their wealth and their family members. The family member will include all their sons. Word family member will include family member as defined in Company Act. There is a broad definition of family members. Moment a person becomes judge, all his family members will be told to give a wealth disclosure of past 2 years, 3 years, and it will be put on the website. All court records as far as possible will be put on the net as soon as possible, including daily proceedings except in rape cases. In rape cases it might take 1 or 2 days because the name and the details of the victim have to be blanked out. So it may happen that the judge has to spend 1 or 2 days in blanking out all the details so that identification is not possible, not known to the public. The media already cooperated. Media never writes victims' identified details. So, but all other cases, the day-to-day detail will be put on the web along with the photograph of the accused, photograph of the complainer, and so forth. And the parties will be informed about the dates, notices by email, SMS, etc. In 2 or 3 different languages. In addition, every time there is a trial, 20 citizens will be chosen at random and they will be asked to attend the trial so that people become familiar with the court as early as possible. So these are the suggestions. Now I will describe the suggestions in detail. So first suggestion is right to recall Supreme Court judge. I have described it in my video. Title should be E2101. It is right to recall Supreme Court Chief Judge. It's a chapter 6, chapter 7. A video title is E0701. In that I have described right to recall Supreme Court judge procedure is 100% constitutional. I have showed it to many lawyers. They could not find any clause in my proposal which is conflicting against any article in the Constitution, and so what they started saying is that they have not read this proposal. But otherwise it is fully constitutional proposal and it can be brought after TCP is printed in the Gazette. What is TCP? Transparent Complaint Filing Procedure. It's a 1-page Gazette notification I have proposed in section 1.3 of this book. Then making 100,000 courts. As the wealth tax come, more money will be there, so the law minister can make 100,000 new courts, and that would require right to recall law minister, because if right to recall law minister is not there, then the law minister will become corrupt and lazy and he will not create new courts, new building, whatever that is needed. So once we have wealth tax proposal and we have right to recall law minister, new courts will be there. Now I will come to the most important thing, the jury system. I will discuss the jury system in the next video. Thank you.